Now it's time for Clicka and Presta. Sounds like a comedy team, but as far as I know is not. Steve Clicka and Terry Presta are the two candidates running to replace retiring Johnson County Commissioner Dave Lindstrom. Both have been elected to public office. Clicka serves on the Blue Valley School Board and Presta is a former state representative. One key area of disagreement between the two involves public transportation. Yale, you follow this closely. What's the difference between these guys?
Steve Clicka knows something about it, and Terry Presta doesn't. No, this campaign is one of those things where you basically have Steve Clicka, a long time, Johnson County, and worked on the transit issue, but also has been the Blue Valley Board of Education. In other words, he's kind of like in that moderate wheelhouse that Johnson County used to love. And Terry Presta, whom I've talked to, is a former state rep from Garden City. Been in Johnson County for a while, but he really is, real quickly, he's mailing out despicable mailers, two against Clicka, one of them linking him to Obama. I mean, first of all, it's a nonpartisan race. They're basically both Republicans as far as I can tell, but it's a nonpartisan race. So on mailings alone, I'm very disappointed in Presta, and just to be clear, the Star has endorsed Clicka, so I'm very disappointed with Terry Presta. So in that race, I think Clicka is the obvious choice. Now you have the second one too, right?
The other race. But let me ask you about Presta, because I believe you wrote in one of your articles about the race that Presta is very concerned about working across county and state lines, doesn't want to work with Jackson County or Kansas City, Missouri.
Well, actually, that's one of the things he claims that Clicka wants to do, which is kind of like, well, that may play well with the really conservative Johnson County crowd, and I understand why Terry's saying that. But I'd love to have somebody else in Johnson County, like Ed Peterson is, and some other people are in the commission, who are willing to work across county and state lines with people, not automatically sending tax dollars over there.
Mary,
work with people.
Mary, are you supporting Presta?
No. Well, no, I really have not ever met him. I've met Steve Clicka once, but here's what he brings, Mike. We don't have currently, although Ed Peterson's really very supportive of education, and as are the others on this county commission, but he is an authentic, Steve is, education expert. He, I think, has chaired the Blue Valley School Board.
What do you think? That's a contradiction in terms of an oxymoron.
No, it isn't. I mean, look at the times that the county commission has come to the aid of Johnson County schools, and then back way when a crisis was over. Steve has an immense campaign that is grassroots, and it comes from the school district of Blue Valley, and he is an authentic leader in South Johnson County.
It is kind of interesting to me, these kinds of races that are important don't get tons of coverage by the news media anymore. Another county commission race, incumbent Calvin Hayden against former commissioner John Toplikar. They have run against each other before, have they not?
Well, they have. I mean, obviously the one 4 years ago was where Calvin Hayden's camp caught Toplikar stealing some of Hayden's signs, and that really did turn the race. And Hayden, it's funny because Hayden has been fairly conservative, representing Olathe and that environ out there. Basically, Toplikar is even more to the right. And when he was on the commission, because he was a former commissioner, he was really very unhelpful. I mean, I remember covering this in budgets. He would sit there mute, and then when it came time to vote, go, I got some problems with this budget. Like, well, he wanted to cut it even further. And you really need to work on things to have a positive impact and stuff. The Star again has endorsed Calvin for re-election, and I think he'd be a good candidate.
Is a very conservative Republican. It's nonpartisan again, but he is extraordinarily good to work with. I mean, he's a capable man who works out arrangements for good legislation and keeping Johnson County in possession of a high-quality county government. He's an excellent
You both say it's nonpartisan, and yet I gather these are all Republicans, and the distinction is one considers himself more moderate and the other more conservative.
No,
in both
but
cases.
the important thing is it shouldn't be run that way. I mean, in Kansas City, I've covered races for 25 years. They are nonpartisan, and except for a couple like Dick Berkeley, who's a Republican, I'm sure most of them were Democrats. But even in those races, really, you don't see them trying to outdem each other. It's interesting.
When the County Commission in its current form was created about 10, 11 years ago, the idea in part was to have the elected chairman serve as sort of a Johnson County mayor and be the spokesperson for Johnson County, to Johnson County and the rest of the metro area. Has that happened? Is
Not,
Ed Eilert
not
the-
recently. Ed's lost that mantle
Eilert-
because he
Ed
doesn't.
Eilert
He only
doesn't-
speaks for one portion of Johnson County, which is. And I'm not going to say it's conservative. It's kind of the let's just keep things as they are. He's not aggressive on transportation. He's not aggressive on a lot of other things. And I understand that. I mean, Annabeth Serba, his predecessor, was more interested in working with other people.
All right,
Well,
got to go on.